Hi everyone, now we are going to explain the type of grounded theory designs, particularly the systematic design. My group is composed by Paula Angulo, Daniela Toraca, and me, Andrea Otero. Grounded theory research have different depending on the advocate for a particular approach. There are three dominant designs. The first, the systematic procedure, allowed with Strong and Corbin 1998. The second, the emerging design associated with Glaser 1992. Finally, the constructivist approach exposed by Sherman 1990. The systematic design for grounded theory is widely used in educational research. It is associated with the rigorous procedures that Strong and Corbin identified in 1990 and elaborated in their second and third edition of Techniques and Procedures for Developing Grounded Theory in 1998. A systematic design emphasizes the use of data analysis, a step of open axial and selective coding, and the development of a logic paradigm or a visual picture of the theory generated. Exists three phases of coding. The first phase, open coding, the grounded theories form initial categories of information about the phenomenon being studied by segmenting information. The researcher is based on categories on data collected, social interview, observation, and researcher's memo or not. Typically, researchers identify, categorize, and subcategorize as seen in the grounded theory.
Yes, Andrea, there is a category of 7 points, representing 7 categories of roles. 1. Provider, 2. Enabler, 3. Advocate, 4. Mentor, 5. Encourager, 6. Collaborator, and 7. Challenger. However, the author introduced new ideas into our understanding using the open coding. A dimensionalized property means that the researcher views the property on a continuum and locates in the data the samples representing a stream of this continuum. For example, the shares as a provider. This is a category engaged in funding faculty, a property which consists of possibilities on a continuum stem of fund ranges from long-term startup seed money to short-term travel money. This is a dimensionalized property. In the second phase, axial coding, the grounding theory selects one open coding category, positioning at the center of the process being explored as the core phenomenon, and then relates other categories to it. These other categories are the causal condition, factors that influence the core phenomenon, strategies, action taken in response to the core phenomenon, contextual intervening conditions, specific and general situation factors that influence the strategies, and consequences, outcomes for using the strategies. This phase involves drawing a diagram called a coding paradigm, which portrays the interrelationship of causal condition, strategies, contextual intervening condition, and consequences. Then, this core category becomes the center point of the axial coding paradigm. You can see that there are both sets or categories of information. 1. Causal condition. These are categories of conditions that influence the core category. 2. Context. The specific conditions that influence the strategies. 3. Core category. The idea of phenomenon central to the process. 4. Intervening conditions. This is the general contextual condition that influence the strategies. 5. Strategies. The specific action or interaction that result from the core phenomenon. And 6. Consequences. The outcomes of employing their strategies. In addition, viewing this coding paradigm from the left to right, we see that the causal condition influence the core phenomenon and the context and intervening condition influence the strategies, and the strategies influence the concept.
And finally, I'm going to say the last one. The third phase of coding consists of selective coding. What is it? According to Strauss and Corbin 1998, it is the process of integrating and refining the theory thought techniques such as writing the storyline that interconnects the categories and classifying thought personal memos on theoretical ideas. In a story, a researcher might examine how certain factors influence the phenomenon that leads to use of specific strategies with certain outcomes. In other words, to develop their theory-grounded theories use established procedures thanks to the use of these three coding procedures, which are based on analyzing your data for specific types of categories in axial coding and use diagrams to present their theories. For example, according to Morrow and Smith 1995, there is a study of the coping process of 11 women who survived child sexual abuse, where the systematic process is illustrated, in which women felt defenseless and powerless. However, they were able to survive knowing how to handle and control their feelings. Authors include the process of open coding, axial coding, and generation of a theoretical model as an example of the systematic procedure associated with Strauss and Corbin 1990 and 1998, in which they had indicating sections in the study for the discussion about each component of axial coding.